Hey, there goes Captain Tazarayach slandering GMS. This is from Hoover Gang arrested for pimping 14-year-olds. Thou shalt not peg. Christians don't know the Bible. Christians don't know the Bible. I wonder where he got that from. This is Captain Tazarayach TV. He's going on live right now. And I was watching it, and lo and behold, GMS came up in the topic. So let's check it out. Let's listen to what he got to say.
So I gotta say this part. Garfield's in the chat. Garfield's in the chat said, "What was that post about GMS? Y'all want to know something heavy? Gorilla Hebrew comes out of GMS. He comes out of GMS.
So did you. You came out of GMS too, Captain Tazarayach. You're a secret disciple of GMS. I believe you were learning under them brothers from Mississippi. Now, the brothers that know what I'm talking about, they can correct me in the comment section. But Captain Tazarayach, he also comes out of GMS. He's a secret disciple of GMS before he got with his commanding general, Yohana, which, by the way, when I first joined the Israelite school, 1 West 125th Street, I was underneath General Yohana. Back then, he was no commanding general. He was just general. He was just, no, I believe he was either High Priest Yohana, I believe he was, or he might have been General Yohana. I'm not sure. There was no commanding, though. I remember that much. And I was in his camp, and basically I felt that he wasn't in the camp as much as he should have been. He always had something to do. He always had some business he had to take care of. He was hardly in the camp. All right. As a matter of fact, there was this older so-called Jamaican guy that was holding the camp down, mostly. All right. So that's one of the reasons why I left Yohana, because I felt I wasn't really learning anything from him. And it wasn't until I joined up with Elder Pastor that I really started learning the scriptures, learning the Bible. And I've been with Elder Pastor ever since. So that's my testimony concerning Yohana. You know, cool guy. I mean, you know, but when it came to the, let me put it to you this way, between Yohana and Elder Pastor was much more serious about the work, about the camp, about the dynamics of the camp than Yohana was. And I can honestly say that because I was with both. So I can make that distinction, you know? So anyway, let's listen some more. So Captain Tazarayach is playing like he was never part of GMS. Well, what do you expect for this guy? This guy, and then he has the nerve. He mentioned in this lesson, he mentioned about being, some guys are flip-floppers. Where you got that term flip-flopper from? All these guys, they bite GMS, but then they bite from us, right? They take what they like of us, right? Because we're the most avant-garde camp. We're the most innovative. We're the most, we're the camp that's popping. As a matter of fact, you go back to the summer of 2007, when we came on YouTube, that's when this Hebrew Israelite thing blew right off the hinges, man. Before that, you had what's his name? He was on YouTube. You had Bubble-Eyed Blackfish, the guy we call Bubble-Eyed Blackfish. By the way, we gave him that name, right? Elder Rakar, I guess that's his title of the GOCC, Gok. And you had Bishop Nathaniel of the IUIC, right? They was both on YouTube, and YouTube wasn't going nowhere with the Hebrew Israelite thing. It wasn't until, beginning with Elder Pastor on down, these are facts. In the summer of 2007, we started putting up our videos, the street speaking videos, in particular the 34th and 7th Avenue, when this thing blew wide open. So we're the avant-garde of this Hebrew Israelite thing of ours, man. The GMS, Great Millstone. Okay? So all these guys, they steal, they bite from us, and at the same time, they turn around and they slander us, like what you witnessing here. Let's go.
You know, GMS teach what you could do with underage girls. GMS had...
You hear that? You hear this guy? You hear this guy? So I know you brothers are gonna jump on this dude, man. You know, and do lessons. Captain Tazarayach, another guy with a cult of personality. All right, cult of personality. I want Captain Tazarayach to show me one scripture where Yahushua set up captains. Huh? Show me one scripture where Yahushua set up captains when he set up his ministry. I'm talking about Yahushua. Just produce me one scripture where he set up captains. Produce me one scripture where he set up generals. I'm talking about Yahushua's ministry. Another cult of personality. Now, you have bishops, you have elders, you have apostles. Yahushua set up apostles, right? First they were disciples, then they became apostles. But there ain't no scripture where Yahushua set up captains or generals. You got commanding general Yohana and you got Captain Tazarayach. Show me one scripture where Yahushua set up either a captain or a general in the ministry. Yeah.
I'm going to say has or had, because I don't know if he's still in the school. So back in about 2012, there's a video where you see Captain Taiwo, myself, Tazarayach, we have the confrontation with GMS, right? Commanding General Yohana was going to give it a pass. People don't know this. Commanding General Yohana was going to give that a pass. He wasn't going to say nothing. And then GMS puts the video out. So now it's head on. ISBK, GMS, we going back and forth. As we going back and forth, listen, Deacon in the chat brought it up. As we going back and forth, Commanding General Yohana.
So you got Deacon Akar in there. This is the comment that he put. Yohana Bar pink panty scandal. Shaking my head. See these guys? These guys, and by the way, Deacon Akar, you came up in GMS. Now wait a minute. Why doesn't Captain Tazarayach he talked about Al-Azhar? Now that Al-Azhar been outed, everybody knowing, Al-Azhar has been outed in public that he's a sodomite, whatever. Well, Deacon Akar was down with Al-Azhar. Deacon Akar was down with Al-Azhar when they were in the Sakari. Why don't you out him? He's in your chat. Why don't you talk about him being a part of GMS? You yourself, Captain Tazarayach, was a part of GMS. You see why 1 Peter 4:17 got to come around, man? 1 Peter 4:17. The Lord say you're going to begin with, started, because you got a lot of snakes. You got a lot, man, I don't trust these niggas as far as I can throw them. All right? That's why I have very few friends, man. And I'm going to continue to be that way until Yahushua comes, man. The scriptures speak about that. There's a scripture on that. Trust ye not, and every brother will utterly supplant. Ooh, yeah. Jeremiah 9. These same spirits are coming back, man. Niggas that are filled with guile and hypocrisy and wickedness, man. Jeremiah the 9th chapter. Here it is right here. Jeremiah 9:4. Take ye heed every one of his neighbor. Right. That's sage advice. And furthermore, the scripture have said in the Apocrypha, a friend is known in adversity. That's how you know a real friend, when he go through adversity with you. Okay? Take ye heed every one of his neighbor. So be aware. And trust ye not in any brother. Sometimes that word brother is thrown around a little too loosely. For every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders. And that's what you're about to witness in that video with Captain Tazarayach, walking with slanders. Okay? And they will deceive everyone his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. And that's why judgment got to come, pursuant to 1 Peter 4:17. And it's going to start with those that know that they're Israelites. They have taught their tongue to speak lies. There you go. And weary themselves to commit iniquity. They are more unrighteous Israelites in this thing of ours than they are righteous Israelites. They are more Israelites with no integrity, couldn't spell the goddamn word, than they are Israelites with integrity, man. That's like Billy Joel had a song called Honesty, one of my favorite songs. is from the 52nd Street album. The lyrics is so spot on, man. The song Honesty. Like he says in the song, honesty is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. And that could be said in Israel, man. Integrity is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. Okay? Jeremiah 9:5, it says, and they will deceive everyone his neighbor and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies and weary themselves to commit iniquity. Weary themselves to commit iniquity. And like to quote the words of the brother from Texas, Elder Yashawamba, he said some of the worst niggas he's ever met have been ones that claim they're in the truth. And I second that emotion, man. Okay? Then it goes on to say, thine habitation, now I'm reminding you true blue brothers out there of Great Millstone GMS, thine habitation or our habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit, they refuse to know me, saith the Lord. A lot of deceit out there, especially among these so-called Israelites. Okay? Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will melt them. So that great judgment is coming, man. And try them. For how shall I do for the daughter of my people? See that? Let's get back to the video. I'm only going to play a little bit more of it.
General Yohana brings out how Yohanaba, who is in GMS, used to wear his wife's pink panty.
You was in GMS. You was sweating men of GMS back in the day, Captain Tazarayach, before you became the cult of personality that you are. Okay, why don't you bring that out? Deacon Akar, who's in your chat there, he was part of GMS. And he had the nerve to put it. See, these guys, man, these guys are lowlifes, man. I'm telling you, they're lowlifes. And I wouldn't want them around me, man, honestly. Okay? I wouldn't want them around me. That's how I feel about it.
And high heel shoe.
And in the beginning of Apostle on down, and Apostle 40 years deep in this thing, myself 35 years, we've seen a lot of guys like this. They come and they go. Okay? They come and they go. But this time, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, he gonna brutally start dropping motherfuckers, man. Brutally. Pursuant to 1 Peter 4:17. If your heart ain't right, if your heart is not right in this thing of ours, Yahweh Shem Yahshai will expose you and then fucking destroy you, man. If your heart is not right. The scriptures speak about sincerity and honesty and truth. That's why the Apostle Paul said every day we're supposed to examine ourselves whether we be in the faith. Trust ye not that we are not reprobates. Okay?
And take a shit.
Wow. Take what? Defecate.
A lot of these guys are into fame. A lot of these guys are they hide behind cults of personality. They're into fame. Really, they're into the money, number one, and fame a close second. That's their main motivation. Their motivation is not to suffer for on behalf of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai's sake. That's not their main. They don't want to suffer. These guys want to live the soft life. You know, they want to make lots of money. Even before I came, I was able to get on this guy's chat. I had to watch a fucking commercial, man. Okay? You go to our videos, beginning of Elder Pastor on down. That's how you see. This is why the Lord said you have these Israelites. They see and they don't observe. You watch our videos, you don't see no goddamn commercials. You click on our video, immediately our video comes up, and we get right down to business. Okay? The Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai's business. Like Yahweh Shai told his mother, didn't you know I'd come to do my father's business? We, GMS, we're about the Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai's father's business. And guess what? Guess what? Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai sees our diligence and sincerity, and we're going to be rewarded, man. Great Millstone I'm talking about, and our true affiliates. We're going to be rewarded. While all these fucking phonies, they're all going to drop, man. Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai going to drop all of them. Every last one of them. Bunch of fucking phonies.
Shit. Used to take a shit in pink panties.
Wow.
That's GMS. And you
see what he said? That's GMS. So that basically that's all of us. All of us are bunch of sexual deviants. That's what this nigga just said. Okay? Now, let's say GMS were to be put, exalted by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Then he'd come around and act like he was always with GMS. That's these niggas, man. A bunch of fucking phonies, man.
You know what they said? They said the same thing Flacco said. He said, you know what? Anybody tell a bedroom secret? I said, God damn, a bedroom
This guy, he's like a woman, gossiping. He's like a woman. You know what? He's like them two old women in one of them wacky tacky churches talk. You know what that nigga said? How is this edifying? How does this edify? Here it is, all kind of prophecies is going down. All right, Trump, Donald Trump is going crazy in the White House, bringing all these New World Order measures, right? You got all kind of stuff you really could be talking about, edifying, exhorting, prophecies that is, and this is what you're talking about. Some fluff and puff bullshit.
Sacred. and listen.
That's why that Edomite Andrew had you like a yo-yo, man. He had you wrapped around his finger. You hear like the song by the Police. You'll be wrapped around my finger. He had you wrapped around his finger, man. I saw the video. You didn't know where to go with him. Because I'm talking about you, Captain Tazarayach. You so desired to be a master debater. Then Andrew, he showed you he showed you some techniques of debating. He had you wrapped around his finger.
GMS didn't put that nigga out. He still stayed in GMS. He stayed right in GMS. Do you think the nigga stopped?
For the record, it's been a long time since Yahanabah has not been around. It's been a long time, all right? For the record. Okay? Per se, Yahanabah is not a part of GMS, per se. Okay? So all this is what do you call it? Sensationalism for his audience. He's putting on a show for his audience. But that's, hey, that's the scripture. When men shall revile you, let's get that. This is what Yahweh said. He's putting on a show for his audience. I hope your audience can be there to deliver you when all holy hell come down upon you, Captain Tazarayach. I hope your audience is there to deliver you, to cheer you on. When Yahweh Shem Yahushai bring that hell upon you. Matthew the 5th chapter and the 10th verse. It says, these are the words of Yahweh Shai speaking. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye, this is Yahweh Shai speaking, when men shall revile you. And you heard Captain Tazarayach, like he's trying to, okay, you talking about Yahanabah. We're not, we don't do those sort of things, man. Okay? We don't do those sort of things. Beginnenfelder pasta on down. We're not sexual deviants, man. Okay? Blessed are ye, and again, Captain Tazarayach, you was part of GMS. Your boy in the chat there, Deacon Hakar, he was part of GMS. Matthew the 5th chapter, blessed, the 11th verse, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake, or for my sake. Captain Tazarayach is trying to paint us as all sexual deviants. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. You see? So that's what Captain Tazarayach did. He persecuted the prophets.
GMS, do you think the nigga stopped defecating in pink panties? Hell, like, you taking a shit in pink panties. That's who you going to camp with. That's who you going to camp with. And that's freaking really, listen, GMS, y'all gonna get mad. You're gonna have to eat this one. Pause. Right? But.
No, we're not gonna get mad. We just, hey, you're revealing who you really are. Okay? You're revealing who you really are.
Sexual deviancy seems to follow GMS.
See? He's trying to say that all of us are a bunch of sexual deviants. Right? So remember that, you brothers in GMS, remember that that's what this guy thinks of us. Captain Tazarayach, the beginning of Pastor on down, we're a bunch of sexual deviants. He's putting on a show for his audience. Meanwhile, he himself was part of GMS. Meanwhile, certain things we say, he steals from GMS. He mentioned about something about flip-floppers. That's a term that we use. I myself use the term for certain Israelites that one day they're calling Christ, and he's one of them. One day they'll say Christ, the next day they'll say Yahushua. Let's go.
Because Guerrilla Hebrew comes from GMS.
You came from GMS, and Deacon Akar in the chat, he came from GMS. So I guess you guys are a bunch of sexual deviants too. Huh? Oh, man.
Ye shall know them by their fruits.
By their fruit.
You shall know them by their fruits. Again, Matthew 5:11. Right? Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you and shall say all manner of evil, calling us sexual deviants, against you falsely for my name's sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad. So he said, GMS is going to have to eat that one. I know y'all going to get mad. I'm not mad. I'm rejoicing. Like Yahushua said. Yahushua told me to rejoice and be exceeding glad. I'm not mad, nigga. I'm exceeding glad. All right? For great is your reward in heaven. There you go. For so persecuted the prophets, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. And that proves that we're the true prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So there you go.
And he's a fruit.
And he's a fruit. Because listen, I'm sorry, Dad, what you gonna say, bro? What you gonna say?
I just said connect the dots. That's it.
Then you just connect the dots. Just connect the dots. So Garfield wanted to know the pink panties. Yehanabah did not deny it. He said his wife told a bedroom secret. Now the biggest question that they asked at that time was, should she have told? And absolutely, you do not hide sin. You women, let me tell you something. For you women out there, they got niggas out there doing all manner of evil. You have the authority from the Most High and from my voice that you can tell of the evil that he's doing. What I would suggest you do, don't be like that gay ass nigga Ariala, because that nigga's gay. The reason why I call him gay, I ain't saying he slept with a man, but I am saying he got a...
Anyway, on to the next video. All this fucking gossip.